welcome to World of Sport TV and to the two editions of shows tonight. The first one being the look ahead to the Southampton game on Thursday. We're doing it a bit backwards, to be fair, because we're doing the match reaction show after this one, which is a bit strange, but there you go. It's just the way things work out. Before we get the guests in, please hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see tonight. And if you haven't already, and please consider becoming a member. The reason why we ask for memberships is we are a sponsor, a sports trader, and we want to buy them. We want to buy stuff off them. Oh, I'm so tired, guys. Sorry. Buy stuff off them to give away as prizes to our members only. So please consider becoming a member, and that'll be a massive help to us towards doing that. The final one for tonight, just to show you very quickly, is the Alan Shearer shirt has only got 4 days left. So if you want to buy your ticket, £1 a ticket, big proceeds going to the Alan Shearer Foundation and also to Sports Trader and a bit to the channel as well. Contact me here along the bottom if you would like the link to the raffle. So, star-studded lineup in the background, as always on World of Sport TV here. I'll bring my co-host in first. How's it going, Billy?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good. You had much sleep? Don't look like you have.
5 o'clock in the morning to get up for work is killer.
Hard, isn't it? Very hard. I was up at 4:45 this morning with a little and crying and went off before my alarm. I was not impressed.
Yeah. I usually wake up by that time myself for a piss or something. Oh.
Yeah, that as well. Right. So we've got Joe. And he hasn't been on for a while, but I always love his face. He's always got a massive smile on him. And as a Southampton fan at the moment, I don't blame him. Welcome.
Too kind. Too kind. There we go. Good to see you, lads. Happy to be back. Yeah, it's been a little while, but yeah, delighted to be back.
That's what happens when you're a teacher. You see, you've got too much homework to do.
Oh, it's that, and then it's just everything. It's just the last 3 months have gone like that, but it feels like we haven't sat down. I feel like I'm quite lucky waking up at 6 this morning. I feel like I should be quite smug.
That a lie?
That's a lie in that. Especially on a work day. Paul says hi all. Gary says evening everyone in Baz. Thanks, Gary. And the Clune lad, evening Baz. Do them. Eddie should keep Fraser on the left and move ASM to the right. So we're going to come on to that sort of stuff very, very well. Let's say shortly. It'll be near the end of the show. We'll do the lineups, but it's going to be very interesting what happens. But let's talk about Southampton first. It's why you're here, Joel. It's why we wanted you here, because we want to know what dangers Southampton bring to this fixture on Thursday. Obviously, we both played at the weekend, so there's not much respite. I think we both play on Sunday as well, don't we?
Yes,
after tonight. So there could be switches, there could be changes. But before we come to your lineup, let's talk about Hassan Husl. He's obviously turned things around, hasn't he? I mean, a lot of people were calling for his head and saying that he wasn't good enough. It was time for him to leave, and then suddenly everything
clicked. I mean, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. I mean, the start of the season, as I was saying before we came on, we had this conversation in August, and we all went to each other. This could go either way for both teams. And for Southampton, it was very up and down, up and down. We went in good run of form in October, and then it sort of fell off a cliff. And and then by December, we're looking back down over our shoulders, going, we're in a relegation battle. But since Boxing Day, there's been a real fantastic run of form. He's finally found his starting 11. He's finally got the players fit. I mean, we've got Stuart Armstrong back, who I think is one of the most underrated midfielders in the division. I mean, the win stats, I think since he's played, I think he's played 17 games this season. Saints have 17 games in all league competitions. I think Saints have won 11 or 12 out of them. He is very important to the way that Ralph wants the team to play. The players seem to understand the system now. I mean, the promise of having Mohamed Salisu leading the defence and taking the responsibility of Bednarak has really helped. Salisu, you saw what happened when we didn't have Salisu at the weekend. Bednarak and Stevens had no idea what was forward, what was left, what was right, and what was back. They had no idea. Salisu's got a leader in the defence. Actually, it's been quite interesting that the form of the team has really also rested on the form of Kyle Walker-Peters. He's got back into the team. Livramento was injured for a good 6 weeks. Kyle Walker-Peters got back into the team, and having him in his favourite right position, Roman Perot stepped up at left back, and the system seems to work. And I know we had the blip against Villa with 4-0, and that was dreadful. But I mean, you guys have said it yourself in October, and I sat on this. I sat on the show, and I said very much, I'm questioning Ralph now. He's done enough to keep the team well and truly out of a relegation battle with entertaining football, scoring goals. I mean, Brozier and Adams are playing brilliantly as a partnership. It's strangely quite positive. I mean, yes, I know. I mean, if we didn't have that amazing run before the Aston Villa game, I think it'd be a very different conversation we're having now. But we had it. I can't take it away from Ralph. Villa have got good players. We were missing our best centre back, and players had an off day. I mean, that's going to happen. But as the last 6 weeks have been, it's been pretty happy times on the South Coast.
Yeah, we thought we were going to catch it at one point, didn't we, Billy? We thought we were going on this run. We're 7-8 unbeaten. It's an incredible turnaround, and it's coincide Southampton's turnaround in form as well. So it's very mirrored.
I think it shows two managers that aren't afraid to be positive and actually kind of fed up with the backs against the wall. We tried backs against the wall and defending with Ralph, and it didn't work because we were too aggressive. Would give away too much space. We've focused on going forward, and you can say very similarly to Newcastle as well. You're focusing on the attacking play. It's not let's sit 5 men behind. No, it's 5 men at the back and just pray and hope. And you can see that the players have responded to it absolutely brilliantly. Brilliantly.
We love those tactics, didn't we, Billy?
Absolutely. It's just something to enjoy when you go to the match of a weekend instead of watching us sit back and be pacifists for 90 minutes. And I think Southampton were the same, weren't they?
Yeah, and we were, and I think the only problem is we like to counter-attack teams, which is fine, but you've actually got to do the counter-attacking side of it.
Yes,
it's all good and well having all of the defence and then going, no, we don't want it. We're too scared. We don't want to go forward. And I think there's been a change in the players. I mean, we've had players like Stuart Armstrong has come back into the team. Ward-Prowse has been phenomenal. Oriol Romeu has really helped with that. I don't know. He's always been a decent-ish midfielder, but he's really stepped up. Actually, to be fair, the run in form has been, they've clearly understood Ralph's tactics, and they've always managed to bring the players up a level. I think that's where the similarities are between sort of Ralph and Eddie Howe at the moment, where Eddie Howe's been able to raise the players that you've got. I know he's brought the new players in, but the other players that were there have raised their game as well. And you can tell that he's full amount of credit to him, because this is going to be a really tasty game.
It is, isn't it? A few more little evening quotes coming in here. One from Paul as well. Very good evening, everyone in the chat. Billy and Barry. Joel, don't forget Joel. You're playing January. Yeah, so I knew we wouldn't get through the night. We're literally 8 minutes in, and it had to happen, didn't it? So here it is. Will Hassan be salty that we're using players we didn't have when we had postponed the last game? Or do you think he's realised what a plonker he sounded?
Oh, don't have a go at my Ralphie. Don't have a go at my Ralph. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be a million miles away, was it? Before we had this debate. I mean, I completely understand. It was a strange
one, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the Southampton Twitter Newcastle ding dong was just a bit weird, if you ask me. I can understand why the game was called off, but I can also understand why Ralph would be a bit hacked off, knowing that you boys had an absolute. Don't have the bank behind you to go and change the team. So I kind of get both sides of it. But the thing is, though, we, as a team, we did when we signed Mina. I think there was a game against Wolves or something or other that he played in that he wasn't meant to have played. Something strange about that. So you reap what you sow, really. So
exactly, it was a bit of a strange one when and then soon as we saw a player playing that wasn't, we were like, right, we've got you. And everyone jumped on it, didn't they? Yeah,
and to be fair, it was strange. And to be fair, it was quite funny, like this Southampton Newcastle Twitter argument. Do we have to recall Hendrick? Yes, please do. But no, it's just. I mean, things are. I think the Premier League made it very, very easy for teams to take advantage of that. And I mean, let's be honest. You saw Spurs. We saw lots of teams that were basically the North London derby being the prime example. Yeah. Both teams didn't really fancy it, and then all of a sudden, Arsenal call off the game, and then 2 days later they're loaning out Pablo Mari and somebody else, Mohamed El-Neni, I think it was, to other teams. So, I mean, it was just a strange time. But in a way, it's going to be really interesting to see what two teams on pretty good form
Yeah.
And how are we going to play? You boys must be excited. You must be thinking you've got a chance of getting all 3 points.
No.
No?
And I'll tell you why, because you guys are on fire at home. We don't have a good record down at the St. Mary Stadium. So I'd take a point now if someone offered it. I really would. I really would, honestly, seriously would.
We looked a bit leggy on Saturday as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Saturday was tough watching the second half, especially. And you could exploit that if we don't make changes. So it is going to be very, very interesting in what both managers do, especially with an eye on Sunday. But we got Chelsea away on Sunday. So do we go all out on Thursday night to try and get the 3 points against you lot? Because we know we've got Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and that's kind of a free hit, isn't it, really, in a way? It is now in the league position we're at. It's a free hit. If we were just above the relegation zone and goal difference was in question, then it's not a free hit. But it's it's going to be very, very interesting. There's a few more comments just popped in there. My loud mouse has missed them. It wasn't just Newcastle who said that about every future postponement game. I'm
not having this. I'm not having this.
You've got to take a little bit of grief. I'm sorry.
No, it was my manager that was shouting off. And to be fair, some of the things he does love a good rant, does Ralph.
He does.
And most of it I do agree with. But I mean, I think that, going back to what I just said, I think a lot of teams took advantage of it. I'm not saying Newcastle did, but I could see that a lot of teams did take advantage of the fact that, the Premier League made the rules so
easy,
ambiguous, so easy. Just go, we don't fancy this game. So I can understand, and also you get it on Twitter. Twitter is a bit of a cesspit for it. Something goes against your team and you don't agree with it, everyone piles on. Southampton's the same. Newcastle, every club in the country is the same. And then it created this really weird Twitter beef between Southampton and Newcastle. Don't get it yourself.
You became the Scouse Mackhams.
Oh no, not having this.
But again, I mean, there's only one team who came out with flying colours through that whole pandemic, and that was Leeds. Bielsa just went, "We're playing." Yeah, he might be regretting that decision now because but Everton cancelled quite a lot of their games, and look at the state of their running now. It's a balancing act. It didn't always work for everyone. It worked for us because we did get Chris Wood in, and I know he hasn't scored, but he's still done a lot of dirty work that we wouldn't have been able to see in our team, because Gale or ASM would have been up top. Don't you dare, Billy, right? Because he has done our team justice in my eyes. Target has been a revelation at left back. He's let ASM do all the work in front of him. So it has worked out in our benefit, but like I say, it hasn't worked out in everyone's benefit.
No, I mean, Target's complex. He came through at us, and the problem that the managers had with Target, I mean, Koeman brought him through, and then after Koeman, Pellegrino, Puel, sorry, Puel. They wanted him to do all this attacking work, and he was never very good at going forward, and that's not a slight on him. He's a defensive wing back. He wants to defend. He gets the ball, he plays it up the line, and then he can stay in his position. And actually having someone like ASM in front of him to do all of that creative work for him just takes that out of his game. So he can defend, and he's very good at defending.
Yeah, he is, and he's solid. He's very solid left back. And the good news is, I've heard there's a £15 million bid waiting for Villa to accept when the window opens. So hopefully he'll be our player. We're going to come to these two very soon because they are very good points. But we'll save them for a little bit later on. Billy, let's talk a little bit about these two. Big massive up to Newcastle United Art at NUFC_Art. His work is fantastic. He's letting me use it. I've got a little deal with him. I said I give him a shout out every time I use it, and I'll try and get the players to give him a recognition as well because his stuff is fantastic. But Joelinton, we're running out of superlatives for this guy now. I mean, Joel, you remember not only 4 months ago, we wanted absolutely rid of him for 5 million, and now that 40 million, Billy, as a defensive midfielder, is looking absolutely superb.
Snip at half the price, mate. He's turned into the seriously. I can't think of a better midfield player in the country at the minute. I really can't. Defensive midfielder. He does everything on what it says on the team. It's absolutely superb every week in, week out. Consistently fantastic. And he's unstoppable when he gets going. He's just a fantastic defensive midfield player. He's an appalling striker, but which we bought him as, but a defensive midfield player. Seriously, there's not one better in the league at the minute.
The stats show that, Joel. I don't know if you've seen his stats, but most midfielders, like really excellent midfielders, average about 5 tackles and interceptions a game, and Joelinton's averaging 7 at the moment, which is just crazy.
He looks like a player that finally has a bit of pressure off him. He hasn't got the pressure of, you've got to score goals, you've got to get in these attacking positions, you've got to do this. The everything on all the 3 points are on your back. Take that off him, and he just looks like a completely reborn player who's actually looks like he's enjoying his football. Because let's be honest, he wasn't. He didn't look like he didn't want to be on the pitch at the start of the season. And yeah, it is incredible. And actually, being a neutral and seeing Newcastle from the outside, when I saw Eddie Howe playing Joelinton in central midfield, I thought, what is he doing? he's gone mad. But no, it's clearly worked. It's clearly worked because he's strong, he's physical, he's quick, he can pass the ball, he has the vision. He has all the attributes you want going forward with the strength of being able to win the ball going back as well. Yeah. He's a 360 player, and he's now in the middle of the park where he can be a 360 player rather than just up front. So he's done absolutely brilliantly.
Joel, I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed.
In what way?
Because if you watched my shows, you would know that I said Joelinton should be moved back 2 games before he was. I shouldn't have expected it to happen. I called it. You're not watching it.
No, I know, but I think just being a neutral as well and seeing, because you didn't know. I think being a neutral for the sake, you didn't know how Eddie Howe was going to do this. Because having followed Bournemouth quite closely, because they are down the road from where I am. He looked a little bit towards the end. The team selection was slightly all over the place, and he was sort of selecting players out of position. And in my head, I was sort of like, is he doing this again at Newcastle? But no, Joelinton's been absolutely fantastic.
You got a little bit lucky with it because he wouldn't have been moved back in that position had it not been for Kieran Clark being sent off so early in the Norwich game, and that's what persuaded him to keep him in that position, and that's what persuaded me to say I was right. Yes. I like being right. It's very rare I'm right, but I was right.
I'll take it. Take it, definitely. Wear it.
I am definitely taking it. And ever since he's played there, he's just grown into it and grown into it and grown into it. And then he started to add a goal to his game, which, you don't expect too much from a defensive midfielder, but he smashed that header home against Brentford. It was fantastic. Let's jump onto these 2 players, Borgia and Ward-Prowse. There was some very strange rumours going around that we were after Borgia in January window. We were going to try and get Chelsea to cancel the loan, and we were going to sign him. How much do you rate him?
He's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
And the only problem is, there is going to be a bidding war for this kid because he's strong. He's got that selfishness, which is a good selfishness. He likes to take a shot on. He's pacey. He's not afraid of defenders. And the kid's only 19. He has been an absolute revelation this season. When we signed him and Adam Armstrong. And originally I thought, Adam Armstrong was very much thinking, okay, championship goal scorer. I know we need to learn from Che Adams because it took him 2 years to get into the squad. But bed him in. You've got a championship goal scorer. And this kid from Chelsea. Okay, give him a go. He was at Vitesse Arnhem last season. Okay, fine. He's done absolutely brilliantly. He's just got that attacking threat, the pace, the power, his shots. Do you see the goal he scored against West Ham in the FA Cup, where he cuts inside, puts Zuma pretty much on the floor, and just slots it down past Areola? He's confident, and he's only 19. And we kind of shot ourselves in the foot there because we tried to put a £25 million bid in. Right. Chelsea said no. The only problem is we've now set the asking price, which is an asking price that with the money that we've got, I don't think we're going to be able to meet. He likes it. He's very much. He's been on record saying he's happy in Southampton. He likes it down here. Whether he likes it enough in comparison to some of the offers he's going to have in June and July. Because he's the boy's got the world at his feet. Chelsea will probably try and cash in because they've got so many strikers.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a team like Newcastle go in for him. I could see West Ham going in for him. You could see someone like Dortmund going in for him if Erling Haaland was to go, for example. I'm not saying he's there at that level,
Yeah,
but he could be. He's got the world at his feet. And Ward-Prowse, I mean, Ward-Prowse is a sensational midfielder that I think gets a bit unfairly tarnished with just being a set piece taker.
Yes.
He's active. His vision is second to none. He's got I think one of the best long passing ranges in the Premier League. He's a brilliant midfielder. He's helped by having someone confident next to him. He needs someone like Ori Romeo. He needs basically someone to do all of his dirty work so he can go forward. But he leads. He's a real leader. I mean, he's another one that you boys have been linked with as well.
Well, we were crying for him in the window, to be honest with you, because we thought he'd be a perfect replacement for Shelvey. You agree with that as well, wouldn't you, Billy?
No, absolutely, yeah. But to be fair to Shelvey, he has come on leaps and bounds in the past 6-7 weeks himself.
He has, yeah. No, don't get
Saturday
me wrong.
Saturday aside, he wasn't too great Saturday, but before that, he was superb for a long period of time. So
yeah.
But he's not Ward-Prowse, that's for certain.
No, Ward-Prowse, and he does score goals other than free kicks as well. Though.
He does.
He's scored some brilliant goals this season.
He has, yeah. Well, against Tottenham as well. He's scored some absolutely fantastic goals this season from open play. And I think it's there are going to be a lot of teams looking at him as well, because he has just signed a new long-term contract, but there is pretty much a sort of agreement that if a big team comes in for him for big money, we'll have to sell. So and I think a lot of teams know that we've got a lot of these players. We're on a limit. We're on a budget. I mean, yes, we got taken over, but nowhere near to the extent of, having money to spend. So, I mean, we're going to have to raise it. Obviously, the only thing that, he's been at Southampton for years and years now. I remember his debut in 2011. I think I was there for his debut in 2011 against Crystal Palace in the League Cup. We lost 2-1. It was awful. It rained and nothing happened. He's been a club servant. I mean, any club would be lucky to have him, but I think Broguer will be the one that I think a lot of people, all eyes will be on, because every time he goes on a pitch, he does something just sensational. Whether that's his hold-up play, whether that's his finishing, whether that's his speed, he can bully a defender. I mean, he was not, when he came on, he was not scared of Kurt Zouma. He had Kurt Zouma on the floor every 20 seconds, which is obviously...
But I mean, in this day and age, you don't see many one kind of club players. Because Southampton seem to have this tradition of being able to keep these players for their careers. You mean the Tissiers, your Jason Dodds, your that could be Benali, people like that.
Benali, players like that. Yeah. I mean, Ward-Prowse, it would take a hell of an offer and a hell of a project to get him to go. Which obviously, all the teams in the world, you've got the ambition, you've got the project, and if you stay, and you're going to stay up, so you could. The only way is going to be that way, isn't it? It's only going to be up so far. So, I mean, let's be honest. Potentially, as much as that will break my little heart if he was to go. But I mean, Broguer is a striker that I think a lot of clubs are going to be interested. I'd love to say we'll keep him. I'd love to say he'd want to stay, and I think he would want to stay. But also, if you've got offers from some of the richest and some of the best teams in Europe, which you could have, and you're also a Chelsea player, I don't think he'll stay at Southampton for another season.
Yeah, it's a shame. There's a good one from Jimmy Abaza. Where's the vlog of you being in the posh box? How come there was no sign of a scarf when you were in the box? I didn't have a scarf because they didn't provide one. The box was amazing. I'm going to do the vlog tomorrow. I've been that hungover. I'm just getting over it today, which is why I haven't done it yet. And I went back to work on Monday. So I've just done 2 12-hour shifts, so I haven't had a chance to do it. But I promise you I will do it tomorrow because I'll be getting up and doing these sort of things. It was amazing, though. The other thing I just want to announce very quickly as well is, I don't know if many people know it, but I'm doing an interview with Robert Lee. I cannot wait to do it. It's all hush-hush of where it's going to be because I'm actually meeting him to do it. He basically tweeted me and said, yeah, I'll do it. I was just like, brilliant. Can you do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Tuesday? And he went, yeah, I'll do it on da-da-da. And I went, right, I'll get you a link set up. No, come and meet me. I was like, what?
Oh, that's amazing.
He's like, yeah, you're in Newcastle, aren't you? I went, no, I'm in York. I went, oh, I went, look, mate, I'll make it happen. I will make it happen. I am going to get there and do it. So I need some questions, guys. So Billy, I need questions. Joel, I need some questions. Perfect. Everyone in the chat, I need some questions.
Oh, brilliant.
Drop me a DM and I will try and get them answered for you. But
I'll give you one now, Buzz. 35-yard goal against Coventry City at Highfield Road, your best goal.
Yes, I know. I've got that one in my head already, that one.
Say, Billy,
we've spoken about that loads of times.
Billy in the West End, in the wrong end.
Yeah, so that interview will be out sometime in the next 5 days. I don't want to announce where it is and all that sort of stuff, just in case people try and jump on it and try and crowd them and stuff like that, and that'd be unfair. I don't want to ruin it. So, but it is happening, and I can't wait. Hint, hint. I've got time off work. I should be a granddad sometime today. Away. Get in,
good to see you, Les. Congratulations, buddy.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. Amazing news. Another Geordie in the world. Yes, I think a number 9 at NUFC is a lot of pressure on their shoulders. He's not a number 9. He was never a number 9. I don't know why. And then there's a few congratulations going on. Yeah.
Just the only 2 words I'd say.
Yeah. Julie's pointed out a good one there. Please show some love and hit that subscribe and like button, guys. The like button's really key. I would, but I'm on earlies tomorrow. All right, he's on earlies. Oh, Livid, take the day off, mate. You're just about to be a granddad.
Oh,
it's time to retire.
Relax, definitely.
Exactly. You have a new job now. You have a little bit.
We don't know how old Les is. He could be one of these 35-year-old grandfathers.
Yeah. That is very, very true. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else coming. Yeah, Ward-Prowse to the 2 next season. By the predictions, break the bank for him. He's a top quality player. I said me and Billy really wanted him in the January window. Maybe our sights are set on higher class players, maybe. But I'd love to see him. But
I'm going to be completely biased and say I hope he doesn't go.
Southampton have been known as a selling club in the past. Yeah, you've got the likes of Theo Walcott, you've got Virgil van Dijk.
Oh, you can list off the players, Lovren, Fonte, Lambert, Lallana, Mane. Like you could list them off like that. And I mean, it's our chief executive, Martin Semmington, did a really good interview with 5 Live. And he basically said, people call us a selling club. And that is kind of how the club keeps going, because we're not the most glamorous club in the world. We've got a decent fan base on the South Coast. We're not the biggest club in the world. We have to make money somehow. And if buying these young players, and a lot of the time, these players that aren't wanted by teams like Chelsea, like Manchester City, we've got Nathan Teller from Arsenal, buying these players very young and developing them and send them on, that is kind of got to be what the club model is. And I mean, a lot of people go, if you kept these players, if you kept Mane, if you kept Oxlade-Chamberlain, if you kept blah, 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 the list goes on, you'd have an amazing team. But then the next set of young players wouldn't be able to come through. So, I mean, I completely understand both sides of it. And yeah, we are a history of a selling club. So, and he even said, if Tino Livramento wants to go to Liverpool, we'd sell him to Liverpool and then try and sign the next Tino Livramento. So, it is that history of it. And I mean, to be fair, I imagine a club like Newcastle will be sniffing around a club like Southampton going, we've got the money, you want the money, and you've got the players. So, it's just the way that it works, really, isn't it, at the moment?
I'm definitely not asking that. I do actually want them to like me. But yes, it might come up. You never know, because that was a horrific time.
Took his squad number off him and everything. I mean,
he did, yeah. I know it was crazy, but that's another day. I've lost where I was going to go there after that comment. Thank you for that. Yeah, here it is. I want to show this. So this is a little bit old now because we have actually conceded 4 goals now. But Billy, we've spent under 30 million, signed 3 defenders, and look at the difference it's made. I know Joelinton obviously is huge as well in that defensive midfield position, but Target, Trippier, Dan Burn, everyone raised their eyebrows at 2 of them, and look at the difference they've made. I know Trippier was huge, but
I raised my eyebrows at Dan Burn. I generally, I mean, I always thought he was an okay defender, and maybe with the circumstances when he signed that there was a relegation battle, but he looks absolutely transformed. He looks absolutely a good bit of actually something that Newcastle haven't had, is it? A good man manager. A good business with a good man manager. He looks, and I mean, I didn't realise there was only 4 goals conceded.
Yeah, 4 goals since the turn of the year. It's absolutely incredible, and it's not like Newcastle at all, because in the past, even when we're attacking, it's 4 frees and 3 2s and things like that. So it's crazy.
I think a lot of the credit's got to go to not just the 3 signings, but Fabian Schär's been absolutely outstanding.
Oh, he has. He's been amazing.
I thought he was the best player in the park on Saturday, I'll be honest.
He was my man of the match. Les, yes, he does know the answer to that question, because I think he's been asked it quite a lot of times. He did get, before Keegan said that Newcastle was closer to London than Middlesbrough, and he bought it. Very, very funny times. Very funny. Right, let's bring your team up, Joel, and let's have a little chat about it. There it is. And I can't see it very well there because he didn't send it to me like I like it.
Oh, my bad. My bad. No, so
can you see it all right?
Oh yeah, I can see it. I'm happy to talk through it. So we've got Forster in goal. He's been an absolute revelation since McCarthy got injured. Ironically, actually, Forster's out of contract this summer, and it doesn't look like the club are going to give him a new one. So, which is a bit strange. That McCarthy is coming back from an injury. He had quite a bad bout with COVID as well, and then he got injured. So McCarthy's not been seen for a while. Fraser Forster has been brilliant. If it wasn't for him against Aston Villa, it could have been more than 4. He made some really, really good saves. So I've got right back Livramento at right back, Stevens and Bednarek at centre back. Salisu's got a hamstring injury. There was a lot of talk with Saints fans that Bednarek and Stevens doesn't work. Bednarek takes his lead off the person next to him. If the person next to him, like Stevens, hasn't played properly for a long time, probably not since the start of the season, he's a bit ropey. And actually, to be fair, that's probably an area where Newcastle could exploit the 2 centre-backs because they were all at sea against Villa. But I can't see him bringing in Jan Valery, because Jan Valery I just don't think is good enough. Walker Peters at left-back. He's done brilliantly at left-back, even though he's a brilliant right-back. He's versatile, quick, will take players on. The midfield, Stuart Armstrong, James Ward-Prowse, Ori Romeu and Mohamed El-Nissi seem to be his favoured midfield, with Brozier and Adams up front. So I think we'll go attacking. It'd be a strong team. I think this is the strongest team that we've got, minus Salisu. So, we're pretty much at full strength in my head, unless he plays Walker Peters at right back and Perot at left back. But I think this is how he's played the last sort of 6 weeks, really, minus Stevens for Salisu. So this is the team. I think this is what I think he'll do for the game on Thursday. Oh, I can't hear you.
Sorry, where's the danger for Newcastle going forward? Is it Brozier or is it?
I think the danger.
Wings,
I think it'll be depending on whether you could shut down Stuart Armstrong and El-Nissi. A lot of Brozier's. If you shut down Armstrong and El-Nissi, Brozier will have to drop deep, and Adams will have to drop deep, and that's where there could be a bit of danger for us. If Newcastle can shut down the wings, then there'll be a bit of panic up front. But it's basically being on someone like Stuart Armstrong and El-Nissi. Brozier will bully. Brozier will keep the centre backs busy, but he'll need that service into the box. So if Newcastle will shut down the wings, then they've got a really good chance in this game.
Interesting. Good one from Les there. Ask Rob Lee if Keegan would do an interview. Which is there. I am actually going to be Kevin Keegan as well. I can't believe it. But I'm not interviewing. I'm actually going to a talking. But I have been told by the people who are doing it, they said that I can have a one-on-one with him and ask him if he'd come on my show. So that would just be like the creme de la creme. I don't know how I'm going to get my words out in front of him, to be honest with you. But I might record something and just play it. Shaw is pure class. I think Burnfield's at home, and he is Toon. Exactly. I think that's one of the things that you might not have been aware of, Joel, is that obviously Dan Burn is a Geordie.
Oh, okay.
He's had a season ticket. He went with his dad. His whole family still go.
Right.
And that's another reason why the signing was very, very cute, because he'd give that extra, regardless, if there's quality.
Imagine having a seat behind him.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I didn't realise that. That is no wonder and it must be quite nice for Newcastle fans as well, knowing you've got one of your own on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is, he's not just a clogger centre half. He's got all the attributes of calmness of a cultured centre half. He's got everything. I think it's fantastic. I really do.
But wasn't Graham Potter playing as a wing back at one point?
Yeah.
Sort of marauding up and down this 6'6" gangly figure, marauding down the wing. But to be fair, it worked. He scored quite a few goals when he did that. Sorry, excuse me. It was high. So no, it makes sense.
Yeah, he's been incredible, and that's why we were happy when we bought him, because we realised he could play left back and he could play left centre back as well. So it fits into the system so well, especially the way Shaw's playing at the moment. Ekiteke or Borja, both young. Who would you pick? Oh, that's interesting.
Broja.
I've seen more of Broja. So, but again, Ekiteke has got that reputation of being the next Thierry Henry, and do you really want to miss out on the next Thierry Henry?
I mean, the money you guys have got, you could probably get both.
Get both, yeah. That's what everyone keeps on saying. Then he obviously been at work, and now he's at work. He hasn't had a chance to send over his team. So I've put one up. And personally, I think there's one change, and it'll be ASM coming in for Fraser because he got a knock. And I think he's due a rest, because I don't know if he'll get enough out of him, or does he start Fraser and then bring ASM on after 60 like he did on Saturday? I'm not sure, but I don't think he changes the team at all, to be honest with you. Other than Mancula,
I think there might be one change, Baz. I think he might rest Shelby. He looked very leggy Saturday, and bring Bruno in. Bring Bruno in there, yeah.
That would really hack Ralph off, wouldn't it?
I think if Fraser's fit, I think he plays. I think he plays on the right there instead of Murphy, because Murphy was pretty poor Saturday, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he created that one chance where he hit the post, didn't he?
He should have scored when he got given the ball in the penalty area, but he gave the ball away that many times.
Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of him. But again, I'm just thinking of the fitness levels, everything that's gone on Saturday, how tired we looked at times, especially in the
I think Bruno coming for Shelby purely for that.
I'll make sure I'll give him a boo then. Because I'll be at the game. I'll try and get some videos and stuff for you guys. So
Have you booed Bruno?
Oh well, he shouldn't be starting his new play, should he?
So you've got Target, Burn, and Bruno all to boo.
Oh,
you're gonna have a long night.
That's all right. I'll make sure I take some soothers. I'll keep me ready for work on Friday. No, I mean ASM loves a goal. ASM loves a goal against us. He really does.
That's true. Yeah, he scored the winner, didn't he, last season?
And
he almost scored the winner this season until he got that penalty in the last kick of the game.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's something about St. Maximin where he whenever he turns up against us, he just he turns into Messi. But I think that's why he'll probably play Livramento and Walker Peters, because they are probably our two best fullbacks, and we are dealing with an incredibly tricky player in St. Maximin, and Ralph's never been able to keep him quiet. So I mean, I could see him trying something new. If he comes up against Perot, he'll just do it for speed. That'll be the concern. If he comes up against Perot is very defensive. He's a bit like Matt Target, but I can just see St. Maximin being in for speed, to be honest. So I mean, it's going to be a really, really close game looking at those teams.
It really is. Do you think we struggle versus Brighton because we kept it wide by bypassing our centre midfield from players? Brighton pinned us in quite well, and I mean they kept the ball really well. So the only way we could get out is by getting the ball long or getting it out wide as best as we could, and trying to get ASM on the ball when he came on, and it worked to a degree. But we held on. That was the main thing. But we looked tired because of all the defensive work we had to do, and it was backs against the wall at times. I didn't sit for the second 45. I was literally on my feet. I was really pacing around. Luckily, I could where I was sitting, but it was a hard watch. And Shelby did look tired, and it might be time for Bruno. You're very right, Les. Like Billy mentioned, there's a very good chance that would be the change. Fraser trained today, looked fine in the picks. Training's different to being match fit, though. This is the thing. He did take a knock as well, apparently, so they are going to assess it. Is it worth risking him? Or is it worth risking him and then not playing him against Chelsea? It depends how sees which game's the most important. I mean, they're both really important, don't get me wrong. But, when you're going up against Chelsea, who are challenging for top four, it's a different kettle of fish. Surely Murphy gets dropped for ASM. I think he does if ASM's fully fit now. He's had 2 appearances from the bench. He had, 35 minutes on Saturday?
He weren't great either, was he, to be honest?
No, I mean, he had a couple of half-decent runs, but his final ball was pretty average again, wasn't it? But if he's fully fit and he gets 90 minutes, we want to see him, don't we?
Yeah.
I think we should stick with our strongest squad on Thursday and rest players against Chelsea. There you go. There's another way of looking at it, which could easily happen. Everton is most important. Get them down. Yeah, exactly. When's that again? That's not far away.
No, I don't think so.
Next week, I think.
Yeah,
next Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, I think it is.
That must be quite nice for you guys to know, especially with like Dele Alli and Van der Beek going, we don't want to be in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Can we all say we're rooting for Burnley? Come on,
yes.
I know. I think I'd love it if Everton went down, just because
we all do as well.
Because they're a bit. There's something about. I don't know about you boys. There's something about Everton fans that really hack me off. I've been to Goodison Park quite a few times, and it doesn't help the Saints are absolutely shit there. To be honest, we are dreadful at Goodison Park. We haven't won there since 1994. I think it is away from home in the league.
That's a long time.
Really long time. One of the longest droughts that in years, probably there. But I just don't like their fans. They're just really arrogant for the sake of being arrogant. And then when I saw the result yesterday, it was quite funny. It did make me laugh.
They got absolutely pounded last night, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was
they
fantastic.
Did. Really, 17th of March. What's that next Thursday? You've got Everton.
Yes.
Oh God.
But they have got this kind of we deserve to be in the Premiership kind of attitude, and
yes.
Nothing would be great for me to see them get relegated. Really would.
The definition of they're too good to go down, player-wise, potentially, but they're not playing like it. Not playing like it at all. God, do us a favour and send them down. That'd be brilliant.
Love to send them down. Honestly, we would absolutely jump for joy. I'm not sure on that one. Eden Hazard I think he's past it now. He's unfit. He's 30 now, isn't he? So I think
wages as well.
Yeah, wages. I think there's better players out there now. And we've seen that bit. Did I enjoy my jam roly-poly on Saturday? I seen it on Adam Pearson's show. Yes, the jam roly-poly was nice, especially after about 7 beers. It went down very quickly. It was very nice. Sad news came out today. Former manager Lee passed away today.
Gordon Lee went today,
Rest in peace.
Not good. The True Geordie interview with Kieran Tripp as well, worth listening. Yeah, I need to listen to that when I get a chance.
Gordon Lee actually left us for Everton. He dumped in the shit, sold all our best players, and then went to Everton.
Oh, well.
He was the one that sold McDonald's.
Shouldn't have said that. As a City fan, Newcastle need to sign Eden Hazard. Imagine the link up with Maximum, both great players. No. Eden Hazard's just not the player he was, and you've got to think about what he is now, and he's hardly getting the game now. Isco, yes, please take him.
Hazard's one hamstring away from being out for 3 months. That's the only problem.
Yeah, and his injury record is pretty poor at the moment. He is very unfit as well. So, nope, I'd rather have Isco, who was not actually getting the game at Real Madrid as well. So it would be interesting to see if we can sign someone like his quality. And then there's Felix at Atletico Madrid as well. He wants to come to the Premier League with Arsenal, and apparently he's interested in the Newcastle project. So let's see what it is. Way!
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, mate.
Brilliant. Get in, Les. Yep, find out boy, girl. Weight.
Said he, so I think it's he.
Officially going to wait to find out. His weight, yeah.
Congratulations, mate.
Oh, they probably already knew. I think me and Claire were one of the strange ones these days who didn't find out what the sex was. So, yeah. I don't know who that is.
The lad at Leipzig.
I don't watch enough German football to know.
I know a bit of. I've heard the name. Apparently, he's having a really, really good season. Lots of goals, lots of assists, pacey, strong. Basically, the kind of player that, kind of player that Leipzig would sell because they're a bit similar to us, but with more money. They'll go for. You could probably get him, Kunku. He'd be a brilliant player. Good addition.
I don't think we're going to get Haaland. It'd be nice. Yeah. It's on St. Patrick's Day. That's going to be messy. A little lad called Ronnie already got his first 2 strip. Yeah, you told me about that, Les. Fantastic work. Fantastic work.
That was amazing.
So there's no Bazza's top tip this week. Last week's was refunded because Maupay didn't start, even though Maupay was the only player who got a shot on target of all the players I picked when he came off the bench, which was a bit funny. But yes, let's have your predictions in the chat before we go. guys, I want to know what your predictions are. I want to know what your match thoughts are. Are you going, Joel? I'm sure you are.
I am, yeah. And I've got my season ticket, so I'll be there Thursday night.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
You need to start vlogging the games.
I do. I'll make one for the game against for the Newcastle game. I'll do that.
Awesome.
I'll get some footage together. See what I can cobble up.
You just got to take little, snippets of your day. Pints in the pub.
Lots of pints.
Pints in the ground. Pints after the game. Either you're crying into them or you're singing for joy.
The packet.
Don't want to be your pupils on Friday morning.
Well, depends. I've got my driving test on that Thursday as well. On Thursday, so they could have a really good Friday or a really bad Friday.
Oh yeah.
Either way, you're hungover.
Exactly. Just drinking and going to school is not a good idea, mate. Good luck with that one.
That's what I got told for.
I love it. He would cost 70 million euros. What's that, about 58 million or something like that? Is that about right? 62 million or something like that. That's a lot of money.
Chicken feed for us.
Cheers, Jim. 2-1 Joelinton and Wood. Everyone's predicting Wood because he's got to score at some point. Everyone's saying congratulations to Les, which is. Right, come on, Joel. Prediction, mate. How do you think the game's going to go? Tell me how it's going to work.
Oh, I'm going to go, and I can see this one coming back to bite me. I'm going to go 2-1 Saints.
Ooh.
2-1 Saints. We're unbeaten in 15 at home.
Mm-hmm. That's just given me more hope now, actually.
Yeah, but it's been the most typical Saints thing to do. We
all good runs have got to go to an end, haven't they? So one of our runs could go to an end.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Villa kind of got in the way of that at the weekend, but we're playing well at home. The crowd, I think, it was quite interesting to see after the Villa result. A lot of Saints fans were just going, we're going to lose at some point, and we're going to have to. And we didn't have our best defender. It was actually quite a positive response given the fact we got tonked 4-0. So, I mean, the crowd are still on the side. I think there'll be a bit of added spice as it is Newcastle and, the sign-ins. I'm going to go 2-1 Saints. I'm feeling confident. I can see this being a bit of an issue at 10 o'clock on Thursday night.
1-1 draw coming in there with Brozier and Byrne to get his first Newcastle goal. 3-1 ASM, Mancur and Shaw. There's some strange goal scorers. That'd be a lot of money, Les, if you put a quid on that. I've just put this in the family chat about the birth. Doe, I've got some explaining to do there. 2-1 the Toon, ASM and Wood. 3-1 to the Toon. Right, come on, Billy, what are you going for?
Any point away from home is a good one, so I'm going to go for Desmond 2-2.
So, man. I like being different, though. Yeah, but 2-2.
Then 3-2 Newcastle.
Oh, I like that one. Oh, 3 goals. A 5-goal thriller. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. I really do. I think a point's a really good point down at St Mary's because our record is absolutely shocking down there.
So do I really, but 3-2 just for difference sake.
Yeah. I think we only beat you last season because you were down to 10 men, weren't you?
They're down to 10 men, and then St Maximin just kicked the ball past Jan Valery, who forgot he was a footballer, and just let him pass.
He was rapid that day.
Though. He was incredible. It was incredible. But it's been quite a few draws. So more draws than Saints wins at St Mary's when we played at St Mary's over the last couple of years. So it'll be a good game, good atmosphere, and we'll see who's happiest on Thursday night, boys.
Brilliant. Get the vlog done.
Yes, yeah, I'll do that. I'll get some little clips sorted out.
Get your game. Do it every game because you've got a season ticket. Do it.
Yes.
It'll look good on the show. Look good on the channel.
Yes, on it.
I'm going to hold him to this, by the way.
No, that's fine. I'll get it all sorted out. Definitely.
Mint. Right. Been great having you on again, as always, Joel. Enjoy the game on Thursday night. Obviously,
thank you for having me. It's been lovely. It's been really nice.
Always. You're a good lad. We just don't want you to win on Thursday. You'll find me and Billy in 10 minutes back on the channel with Mike, the Brighton fan, because we're going to look back at the weekend's result. Like I said, a bit backwards tonight. But thank you, everyone, for watching so far. And just give us 10 minutes and we'll be back again. Until then.
Take care, boys. Speak to you soon.
Speak soon.
Bye-bye.